in Kenya's Rift Valley region after a wave of violence in which at least 10 people were killed and 19 households torched within a month. Heavily armed pastoralists have been blamed for invading maize farms and attacking farmers. At first, the government said it was a struggle over land resources, but now hints that powerful people in government and business could be fueling the violence to gain votes or access to the lands. Ferdinand Omondi reports.
This is a part of Kenya the government now calls a disturbed zone. Contested lands which have robbed the locals of peace and disrupted their way of life. It's a conflict which has made it unsafe for children to go to school without armed escort. And to get to the villages which were attacked, we too must be protected. They claim to have seen some movement in the distance, so you got to be sure first before making any movement. And once we're assured that we are out of unnecessary danger, we get in, get the story, and get out. And they say we are safe, so I think we'll do this. Raiders have been here. They apparently stalked residents' homes from these surrounding maize plantations.
We took our children and ran away very fast through the maize plantation. When we reached higher grounds, we looked back and we saw our houses on fire. Everything got burned, my children's clothes, my chicken, everything. I was only able to save my children.
They don't just torch homes and everything in it. They also use the crops to graze their cattle. So we come to one of the police stations along the Rift Valley here. The officers here informed us that they had detained some of the cattle which were found grazing on a wheat farm and a maize farm. And the police now will be ideally waiting for the owners to come claim them so that they can be charged with destruction of property. Police are investigating powerful state officials and well-connected businessmen said to own the animals and are also accused of arming the bandits.
But there are people, we believe, who are funding this, because buying a G3 is not a cheap thing, or an AK-47. But who is the owner of these animals? Is the who in business, in government, And we believe some of these people are conflicted, and that's why the CS was telling some of them, you have to choose. You can't be in government and fighting the government through cattle rustling at the same time.
Some conservationists say that the government is not addressing the root of the matter. They worry about the continued expansion of restricted private ranches and community conservancies at the expense of pastoralists whose grazing lands and water sources continue to shrink.
What must be stopped is this expansion of this strange thing called community conservancies in the north. And this is where these people are losing their grazing lands to tourism investment, to carbon traders. We must turn a spotlight on those and ask them to state where the owners of this land that they now claim to control, where the owners of that land are now.
In Olmoran area, the locals are eager but nervous to go back home. These people believe that to feel truly safe, they must stay as close as possible to the guns they can trust. Ferdinand Omondi, BBC News, Laikipia.